Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcore Guides, bringing my guide for God Hand and Hard difficulty. Today we're doing stage 1-5 entitled Sneak into Elvis's Crib. Right off the bat, I like to start by focusing primarily on the sledgehammer guy, because even though you can taunt these two at the start, I'd rather not, because I don't want both of them to kind of come toward me. Instead, I kind of want to just get a small advantage by just, getting in immediately toward the sledgehammer guy, making that drop. Because there's always a chance that this guy might try to go pick that up and give me some time to beat him up. And plus, when it comes to weapon enemies, they're really not that hard to dodge because they usually attack in the same pattern. So that also helps. But just want to get this out of the way real quick to clarify. This level is quite hard, and it's primarily because of that room that's on the first floor that you can go into, those double doors. And I've done this level a million times. I've tried every route I could possibly think of, like, oh, maybe I'll go upstairs first, or maybe I'll go do that first. And it just never seems like none of that works. So, to save time and to save trouble, I highly, highly recommend, especially if you feel like you're more of like an intermediate player, like I kind of feel. I feel like I'm an average player for the most part. Maybe somewhat, maybe higher than average, if I had to be honest, but I don't know how high that is. Not to brag, I'm just saying, like, I feel like, because of the way that I play, I'm not a pro by any means. I recommend going to the first set of double doors first. And I save the weapon for this guy just to get some damage. You don't need to, but you can. You can't bring it with you with the double doors, I don't think. The weapon, I mean. So, I'd rather just not. And I'm going to keep, even if I didn't have God Hand, which I didn't at the start, I like to keep the statue still there, intact, without me hitting it, to just keep God Hand for later. So I like to come in here first, because of the off chance that there might be a demon spawn, which there was, and it might screw up my run. So this is just like the easiest get out of the way, get out of jail free card. If you're lucky enough in the beginning enough, well, not really lucky, if you're better than me, you can get a charged punch on both of these guys. And if you do get a charged punch attack on both of them while they're coming in, the two brown guys, brown outfitted enemies, when you're fighting them, if you get a charge punch, then once you do that, go for a forward kick. Sorry, I was still kind of thinking about my brown guy's comment for a second. I'm like, that sounds wrong, but that's not what I mean. Brown pseudomooks, whatever. That's just, yeah. Anyway, I can get off another double hit, another double charged attack right there if I wanted to, but unfortunately you have a fat guy that spawns in too that you kind of have to watch out for. But if you end up screwing up like I did, that's perfectly fine, because one thing that you can always technically do is do what I did right there, which is pretty much just run around the room, go for a dash into a square attack, not preferably triangle or X. I feel like square just seems a little bit safer, and just in the off chance, I would recommend double tapping square, or at least multi-tapping it, so that way, it just seems to, like, maybe it's a psychological thing, but I feel like it works if I'm mashing square while I'm doing it, because it seems to break stuff more often. Another little bit of a hint I can give you, that it's not very easy to notice or spot, but one thing I like to do in this room, if I'm surrounded by a group of enemies, is run around the statue stuff, basically where the treasure's at. I like to use those because they're an object that gets in the way of the enemy's pathfinding. I mean, they'll still come after you no matter what, so it doesn't really delete the pathfinding, but it more so messes with them, and it stops them from getting too close all the time. And because of, like, the distance between the wall and the pillar, or where the statues are at, it feels as if there's enough room to make like a choke point, so that way enemies can just not huddle up through it, and only one can follow me at a time. It's really weird, and it's not the best thing I can do, but it just, sometimes it seems like, in the case of an emergency, it seems like it sometimes just works. For these guys here, this is the easiest round you can get through, and hopefully you can end up getting good drops. In terms of how to deal with them, they typically just deal with themselves, but do be fair warned that there is a move they can do, which is like, I think, the 1,000 Years of Pain, where they'll come up behind you, stick a finger in your butt, and it'll do a lot of damage. So, but you can counter it with circle, if the prompt comes up, but still, something to kind of look out for. Just kick them into walls. This is where things get hard, and save your God Hand specifically for this. Save your orbs for this as well. Actually, well, maybe not. I would suggest against using orbs at the very least in this level as much as you possibly can get away with. You don't need orbs for the next level, which I think the next level is the Elvis boss fight. I don't think you really need them, but it wouldn't hurt to have them if you really needed that. But I have a way of getting around Elvis without orbs, so, you know, follow with what you want or whatever. Or if you're like me and you get unfortunate, get a demon spawn, which, again, the slash demons, I don't think I talked about these guys. Maybe I have. With the orange slash demons, they're actually probably one of the easier ones to deal with when it comes to just punching stuff. I think I'll probably talk more about them in like stage 2 or 3, I think, when they appear more. But I had the orbs for it, so I used them. The thing is, like with me, this was just an unlucky draw. So, you know, if you get a bad run, you get a demon in here, you can reload your save and try again to have a demon on the outside if you'd rather fight them there. So there's that. And like I was going to say earlier, I popped God Hand to do the back triangle into back triangle thing. Hold back triangle into back triangle. Uppercut punch. So that way I could just delete the 3 elites the best I can. I wasn't able to delete all 3, but I got close. And then when the demon spawn, you know, again, I will admit that they're not the hardest thing to fight with melee. If you pay it, like if you just stand in place and let them teleport toward you, the worst they can do is teleport behind you and then go for like an upper head slash, which counts as a high. So you're just going to dodge up to, you know, avoid that. I don't think they have a counter from behind. Now, real quick, I'll let the fat guy, I let him de-aggro, and I'm just trying to stick with just the elite by himself. That's what I was trying to do, trying to accomplish. You can taunt the elite by himself without the fat guy usually coming, but I got unfortunate there, I think, and made it to where essentially both came after me, so, you know. But either way, if that comes, in, you know, if that happens, just de-aggro, and you should be alright. Typically, these boxes here, I'd say save them. Save them just in the off chance that you might need health. I was just getting really prideful. I don't know. I was thinking like, oh, it'll probably drop health. No. Just save them in the off chance. You can actually get one guy to chase you down there. If you walk on the very, very right side of the stairs, just a little bit, it should trigger this one. I think I just peeked the mic again. I think I know what's going on with the whole peeking thing. I'll have to check in on that and probably have to delete. Sorry about that last time. My mic peaked. I don't know. It just... God Hand is not being very nice to me, it seems. Like, you know, I played and I beat this while I was sick. And I'm still suffering the fallout of it. As you can tell, like, my nose is... I still sound nasally. I still don't sound like 100% myself, and I wish I could, but I feel like it's God Hand. It's like it's trying to make me prove myself by recording this stuff, regardless of how I feel or whatever. So... it happens. It's... Look, guys, you know, I want to do this as professional as I possibly can, but I don't want to make you guys wait for these videos. That's not fair. So, you know, at the very least, I gotta get them done. But anyway, yeah, you can get one guy to chase you on the stairs if you just walk up to, like, the right side. Just, like, a stair or two. It should work. I'd say, you know, definitely practice that on your own. It's one of those things where you kind of have to just get a feel for it, mostly. And then with these guys, I like to taunt one of them. There is a fat guy in the other room, and he is taking care of civilians right now. But he shouldn't be doing damage to them that I know of. I don't think they're taking damage. So at the very least, you can kill off one elite and head for the fat guy if you wanted. Because this elite guy won't mess with you. The other one, I think, will. I do believe that he will spot you regardless, but still. Real quick, this guy does, at least for me a lot of the time, he tends to spawn a demon. So just keep that in mind that could potentially happen. And again, these guys, really the melee focus with them, like once you figure out their pattern, it's like, oh, okay, I can just kind of just stand there and just take it. Because like the first demon type you fight can use fireballs. That one, I feel like it's more dangerous. But the slash one makes it, like, even though he likes to run away a lot, I feel like he makes it somewhat easier to deal with when it comes to melee, because I could do like a couple punches guard break and then just like a couple punches guard break or whatever if I didn't have stuff to take care of him. Which, honestly, looking back on it, I think using God Hand was kind of a waste of time. I should have just stuck with melee, but, you know, I'm here to prove to you that if you use God Hand on a demon, if you got one more enemy left, perfect. Just taunt him. You know, build up your TP. You're gonna want to build up that TP for the next fight. So just fair warning. You know, keep at least one guy alive. It can be a small guy. It could be the fat guy. It could be anybody you choose. That's not a civilian. So it could be anybody you want to pick and use them as basically your God Hand fodder. So, yeah. That is, of course, if you get a demon to spawn, which, again, you know, the chances are they're likely to happen. I think they're more likely to happen in hard mode than any other difficulty, but still. And real quick, I may cut out my commentary every once in a while because, again, I have this thing going on. It's mostly with my throat, so if you hear a cut... yeah, that's pretty much why. Sorry, you guys shouldn't have heard that at all. I mean, it shouldn't come in the video. But I have a really annoying throat thing going on that, like, every time I talk for too long, I start to get, like, a tickle in my throat, and it really hurts, and I hate it. Anyway, that's it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time for some more God Hand. And as always, take care, everybody.